Jai Guru Datta Sri Guru Datta Jai Guru Datta Sri Guru Datta Jai Guru Datta Sri Guru Datta Jai Guru Datta Sri Guru Datta.
Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Padavallabha Narasimha Saraswati, Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Shri Ganapati Satchidananda Sadgurubhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Guru Datta and welcome to Datta Arpanam with your hosts Rishi Nirvan Baru
and Ravita Singh. Jai Guru Datta, Swagatam, and thank you for tuning in to Datta Arpanam, a showcase of the life, music and teachings of His Holiness Paramapujya Dr. Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji of Avadhuta Dattapitam in Mysuru. Today's program begins with the offering of pranams, gratitude and this invocation prayer at the sacred feet of beloved Sadgurudeva Pujya Shri Swamiji, as this show, possible only through His divine grace, is offered to him. Please join Pujya Shri Bala Swamiji now in worship.
Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Padavallabha Narasimha Saraswati, Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Shri Ganapati Satchidananda Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gururdevo Maheshwarah, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Bhuyuta Shri Hari Chinhitabhyam Agastya Rekhadibhiranchitabhyam Nigodha Bijakshara Mudritabhyam Namo Namas Sadguru Padukabhyam. Ganapati Gurumekam Satchidanandarupam Vibhudharivahasevyam Yogamargadhirudham Sharanamupagatanaamarti Sanghadrivajram Mama Hridaya Nivasam Bhaktinamro Namami Bhaktinamro Namami.
Once again, everyone, Swagatam, and thank you for tuning in to this morning's edition of Datta Arpanam. Today's program is being brought to you through the kind courtesy of Velini's Drug Mart Limited of 58-60 Sutton Street, San Fernando, Debe Supermart Limited of 182 SS Aaron Road, Debe, Coquier Supermart Limited of 14 Naparima Mayaro Road, San Fernando, and Samtron Insurance Brokers Limited of 1126 SS Aaron Road, Debe, and 225 Southern Main Road, Warrenville, Cunupia.
Over the past few weeks, through the grace of Pujya Shri Swamiji and Mata Jayalakshmi, the Dwadasha Sutras have formed the basis of contemplation, here on Datta Arpanam. However, with this week's episode of Datta Arpanam being the one which would be taking place immediately before Pujya Sri Swamiji's 81st birthday, which for those of you who do not know will be celebrated on May 26th, so this coming Friday, we were not sure if to pause the Dwadasha Sutras for 1 week or if to keep going. But in thinking of what would please Pujya Appaji on his birthday, thoughts of his love for his mother and guru, Mata Jayalakshmi, kept cropping up. And so the appropriate course of action seemed to be to continue to share the Dwadasha Sutras in the hope that each of our lives can be transformed by them. That self-transformation for the better is the greatest birthday gift we can ever offer to beloved Sadguru Deva.
And this was the point of the Dwadasha Sutras. Those sutras are 12 instructions which were given to Pujya Appaji by Jayalakshmi Mata. They form the tenets by which she, his guru, instructed that he should live his life. Sri Swamiji, in turn, by implicitly following these instructions and by sharing them with us, is passing on these teachings to us, so that our own lives and conduct can be and should be governed by these Dwadasha Sutras.
So far on this series, the first 3 sutras have been discussed. They were See Me in all women, Be compassionate to the poor and socio-economically disadvantaged, and in all situations, think and act according to the Shastras. Today we are grateful to dear Appaji and Mata Jayalakshmi for providing the opportunity and the means to share with you the continuation of this journey into the Dwadasha Sutras.
As you've probably figured out, today the 4th sutra will be discussed. In this sutra, Jayalakshmi Mata instructs her young son and sadhaka, Pujya Sri Swamiji, to protect the pious and virtuous even at the cost of your life.
As a loving son and as a devoted sadhaka, of course Pujya Appaji would have wanted to follow this and all other sutras fully. Still though, what powerful words to be received by a 9-year-old sadhaka from his mother and guru.
But Sri Swamiji was no ordinary son or sadhaka. He is that holy trinity of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. So that works in his favor. But what about the rest of us? Well, for us to succeed at any task, especially a difficult one, we must first seek the blessings of the granter of knowledge, so that we may truly understand the course of action we need to take. That same bestower of knowledge is also the remover of obstacles. So, by worshipping him, not only do we gain the knowledge to help chart our course, but by removing obstacles along the way, that Lord can help us to traverse that course smoothly.
And listeners, that Lord is none other than Lord Ganapati. As we humbly seek his assistance to traverse the righteous path, and as we contemplate this 4th sutra given by Jayalakshmi Mata, let us glorify Lord Ganapati with this composition of Sri Swamiji's, also rendered by Sri Swamiji. Please open the Bhajan Mala app or visit the website www.bhajanmala.com, enter Bhajan ID number 38 and join in worship.
Jai Jai Ganapati Mangalakari, Jai Jai Ganapati Mangalakari, Vighna Vinashaka Sankatahari, Vighna Vinashaka Sankatahari, Jai Jai Ganapati Mangalakari. गौरीश नंदन जनहितकारी जनहितकारी जय जय गणपति मंगलकारी जय जय गणपति मंगलकारी विघ्न विनाशक संकटहारी विघ्न विनाशक संकटहारी जय जय गणपति मंगलकारी शरणतिकारी आए है हम शरणतिकारी जय आदिनायक मूलाधारी जय आदिनायक मूलाधारी मूलाधारी जय जय गणपति मंगलकारी विघ्न विनाशक संकटहारी विघ्न विनाशक संकटहारी जय जय गणपति मंगलकारी मति संचारी सिद्धि बुद्धि है मति संचारी सच्चिदानंद महाउपकारी सच्चिदानंद महाउपकारी महाउपकारी जय जय गणपति मंगलकारी जय जय गणपति मंगलकारी विघ्न विनाशक संकटहारी विघ्न विनाशक संकटहारी जय जय गणपति मंगलकारी 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 मंगलकारी
May Lord Ganapati remove the obstacles that may be in the path of mankind adhering to the teachings of Sadguru Deva Paramapujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji. You were just listening to Pujya Shri Swamiji here on Datta Arpanam. Today's program is coming to you on 103.1 FM through Pujya Appaji's grace, as well as through the kind sponsorship by Samtran Insurance Brokers Limited, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited, and Kokie Supermart Limited.
In the first charanam of the bhajan you just heard, Lord Ganapati is described with the word Janahitakari, meaning one who brings about the welfare of others. That one word then brings us straight into the 4th Dwadasha Sutra of Mata Jayalakshmi. The sutra says, protect the pious and virtuous even at the cost of your life. The actual Kannada word used was protect the one who has sadbhavana even at the cost of your life.
There is a story which Pujya Appaji has told on many occasions, and that story sheds some light on this word sadbhavana. There was a man who used to always think that if he gets Lord Brahma's post, he would give the entire wealth of the world to his sons and eradicate their poverty. One day, Lord Brahma heeded the man's plea and gave his seat to him just for a few seconds. The man very happily seated himself on the throne of Lord Brahma, But as he sat on that throne and looked down from the heavens for his sons, everyone he saw looked just like his sons. The man could not distinguish between his own sons and everyone else. Not just every person, but every creature looked like his progeny. The man realized that the seat of Lord Brahma was a righteous throne, where, when seated, one has no feelings of I, me, mine, or my people.
This concept, the concept of doing away with the notions of I, me, mine, etc., is a notion we have come across when discussing the sutra advocating compassion and the sutra advocating acting according to the Shastras. But it is not an easy concept to adapt into one's life. I, me, my, and mine are concepts which arise when we see differences between ourselves and other beings. But, as always, in his infinite compassion, Puja Appaji has given a clue as to how we can move past that. That clue is, first figure out who you are. Contemplate upon the self. When you realize that you are a manifestation of that Supreme Paramatman, that Supreme Lord, then it becomes easier to see that everyone else is also a reflection of that same divine energy.
It takes some time and a lot of contemplation to realize and accept that we are not different from each other. In fact, in the grand scheme of things, we are not different to any of God's other creations. These physical bodies, these casings which living beings carry, as human male form, human female form, dog form, bird form, fish form, they are all just an illusion. What is real, however, is the universal form, that Paramatma which, as you just heard, exists in us all.
That Paramatma is one. He, or she if you prefer, is not divided. So if he is not divided, then there is no separation between you, me, or anyone else. The focus on that Paramatman, the recognition that that Paramatman does not exist separately from us on some cloud somewhere, but that that Paramatma exists within us, that is key to putting into practice this fourth sutra of Mata Jayalakshmi's.
Last week we discussed the third sutra of Jayalakshmi Mata. In all situations, think and act according to the Shastras. Remember, Appaji has defined a Shastra as a scripture which helps us in attaining human goals. Now, in the fourth sutra, Appaji uses the Shastras to help explain that word, Sadbhavana. He says, a man who follows the adjuncts of the Dharma Shastras, who is wedded to the truth, and who intuits or who sees and understands the goodness present in his fellow beings, that is the man who has Sadbhavana. And just to remind you of how the word Sadbhavana fits into the fourth sutra, the sutra states, protect the one who has Sadbhavana even at the cost of your life.
The person with Sadbhavana feels and shows goodwill towards all. He or she exudes happiness and is friendly and helpful.
Lord Brahma looks down from his throne and sees all of us looking alike. As humans, we tend to think that we are only the physical body, but we must go beyond this. A divine soul recognizes the good in man and protects that goodness, and by extension, protects that individual.
Look at Lord Rama and Sugriva. Lord Rama protected Sugriva against Sugriva's elder brother Vali. Why did he do this? It was because Sugriva was a virtuous and obedient younger brother who had full faith in his older brother Vali. Lord Rama fought and defeated the strong and evil Vali.
Evil tends to be strong because it is a single-minded ego trip. Think of the power that single-mindedness can have if it is instead directed at worshipping God or Sadguru. Let us, with as single-minded focus as we can manage, now contemplate on Mother Goddess as we join in bhajan once again. Please open the Bhajanmala app or visit the website www.bhajanmala.com. Enter Bhajan ID number 663 and join in worshipping Mother Goddess.
कीर्तय त्रिपुराम्बां कीलितसमभुवना तात्विकमतिगां तां त्रिपुणगां कीर्तय त्रिपुराम्बां कीलितसमभुवना तात्विकमतिगां तां त्रिपुणगां कीर्तय त्रिपुराम्बां कीलितसमभुवना तात्विकमतिगां तां त्रिपुणगां त्रिपुटीरूपा लोकगतिर्भूमोधिवि त्रिपुटीरूपा लोकगतिर्भूमोधिवि त्रिपुटीः सा त्रिकोणरूपतोऽस्यागेकं त्रिपुटीः सा त्रिकोणरूपतोऽस्यागेकं कीर्तय त्रिपुराम्बां कीलितसमभुवना तात्विकमतिगां तां त्रिपुणगां कीर्तय त्रिपुराम्बां कीलितसमभुवना तात्विकमतिगां तां त्रिपुणगां त्रिगुणरूपिका त्रिसुरदीपिकाया त्रिगुणरूपिका त्रिसुरदीपिकाया सकलबीजसन् मुद्रयोपवीता सकलबीजसन् मुद्रयोपवीता अतिरहस्ययुग् योगिनी युता चाद्भुत अतिरहस्ययुग् योगिनी युता चाद्भुत रससमाश्रया विशुद्ध नादरूपा देवी रससमाश्रया विशुद्ध नादरूपा देवी कीर्तय त्रिपुराम्बां कीलितसमभुवना तात्विकमतिगां तां त्रिपुणगां कीर्तय त्रिपुराम्बां कीलितसमभुवना तात्विकमतिगां तां त्रिपुणगां सकलसिद्धिदा विमलचक्रगाय सकलसिद्धिदा विमलचक्रगाय कामनायिका वज्रनायिकाख्या कामनायिका वज्रनायिकाख्या शुभगमालिनी पूज्य जञ्जूटे शुभराग शुभगमालिनी पूज्य जञ्जूटे शुभराग गीतरञ्जिता सदैव सच्चिदानन्दात्मा गीतरञ्जिता सदैव सच्चिदानन्दात्मा कीर्तय त्रिपुराम्बां कीलितसमभुवना तात्विकमतिगां तां त्रिपुणगां कीर्तय त्रिपुराम्बां कीलितसमभुवना तात्विकमतिगां तां त्रिपुणगां
Taken from the Tripura album by Paramapujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji, that bhajan is one of a kind, so beautiful, so moving, so melodic. You were just listening to Pujya Sri Swamiji here on Datta Arpanam. Thank you for tuning in to today's offering, today's celebration of Pujya Sri Swamiji's upcoming 81st birthday. Datta Arpanam is coming to you this morning on 103.1 FM through the grace of Pujya Sri Swamiji and thanks to the sponsorship by Samtran Insurance Brokers Limited, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited and Kokie Supermart Limited.
Today, as we get ready for that 81st birthday, which will be celebrated this coming Friday, the study of the teachings of Pujya Appaji's beloved mother and guru Mata Jayalakshmi continues here on Datta Arpanam. Today, discussion centers around Amma's fourth of the Dwadasha Sutras, protect the pious and virtuous even at the cost of your life. But, as you heard in the Kannada version of Pujya Appaji's biography, this sutra translates to protect the one who has sadbhavana even at the cost of your life.
While we learn from Jayalakshmi Mata's fourth sutra that those with sadbhavana must be protected, we should also try to achieve that state of sadbhavana ourselves. And in so doing, we too will be following the instruction given in the previously discussed third sutra of Mata Jayalakshmi. In other words, we too will, in all situations, think and act according to the Shastras.
As Pujya Appaji has said on the free app SGS Posts, if you have a guru, then practice his teachings. And actually, since SGS Post was mentioned, and since practicing what Guru says was mentioned, one thing which Appaji has repeatedly advocated is we must all download the SGS Post app and read the SGS Posts daily. Listeners, this app is free life coaching, free spiritual coaching, a free opportunity to have each day guided by the Avadhuta of the Holy Trinity. Whether you have an Android device or an Apple device, you can download it at no cost. So please do so and see the positive changes which will occur in your mental disposition when you read the posts daily.
In the Dhyana Shlokas of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Sri Madhusudana Saraswati described Bhagavad Gita, or he described the words chosen by Sri Krishna as Sarvopanishado Gavaha, meaning that Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the Upanishads. SGS Post is the modern day version of this, everyone. Pujya Appaji extracts lessons from all the holy texts and puts them into short, easy to read memes which become easy to remember. And if we remember the lessons, then hopefully we are more likely to implement them.
Not everyone can find the time to sit and read the scriptures, and even if we do, we may not always understand the meaning or depth of what we read. More and more, from reading SGS Posts daily, you will see that they are lessons from all the holy scriptures. But the messages are short and simplified so that everyone can understand them. A very important point we must remember though, as was mentioned earlier, Pujya Sri Swamiji has said, if you have a guru, then practice his teachings.
Listeners, it is not enough for us to listen to Guru's teachings or to read about Guru's teachings, but we should also put them into practice. And we must also remember that his teachings do not just come in the form of memes or discourses or Facebook posts, they also come in the form of his actions. By acting according to the Shastras regardless of the situation, as his mother and Guru instructed him in the third sutra, Sri Swamiji is teaching us how we too must live our lives. And in so doing, we see all 12 of the Dwadasha Sutras being followed religiously. This fourth sutra of protect the virtuous even at the cost of your life is no different.
There are so many stories of incidents in which Sri Swamiji was known to have saved devotees. Stay tuned to Datta Arpanam to hear one such story. But for now, let us put into practice a teaching which Pujya Appaji has repeatedly given to devotees worldwide. That teaching is we should sing the praises of God. So everyone, as we recall the teachings of Puja Appaji's first guru, Mata Jayalakshmi, let us engage in worshipping a Lord who is dear to his second guru, Aunt Venkama. Please open the Bhajanmala app or website once again. This time enter Bhajan ID number 1165 and join in worshipping Lord Shiva.
Shivam bhaje, bhavam bhaje, mama prati janmani davam bhaje.
Shivam bhaje, bhavam bhaje, mama prati janmani davam bhaje.
Shivam bhaje, bhavam bhaje, mama prati janmani davam bhaje.
Shivam bhaje, bhavam bhaje, mama prati janmani davam bhaje.
Mama prati janmani davam bhaje.
Mama prati janmani davam bhaje.
Param bhaje, param bhaje, nirupama murudar bhajam bhaje.
Param bhaje, param bhaje, nirupama murudar bhajam bhaje.
Varam bhaje, param bhaje, nirupama murudar bhajam bhaje.
Param bhaje, param bhaje, nirupama murudar bhajam bhaje.
Patim bhaje, gatim bhaje, patim bhaje, gatim bhaje. Shruti nuta mati mati pagam bhaje.
Shruti nuta mati mati majam bhaje.
Patim bhaje, patim bhaje, gatim bhaje. Shruti nuta mati mati pagam bhaje.
Patim bhaje, gatim bhaje. Shruti nuta mati mati majam bhaje.
Shivam bhaje, bhavam bhaje, mama prati janmani davam bhaje.
Shivam bhaje, bhavam bhaje, mama prati janmani dhavam bhaje.
Swanimisha kalpita layam bhaje.
Swanimisha kalpita layam bhaje.
Santata karuna layam bhaje.
Santata karuna layam bhaje.
Santata karuna layam bhaje.
Santata karuna layam bhaje.
Tvam gati riti pad ratam bhaje.
Tvam gati riti
Ratam bhaje. Sakshat Satchidanandam bhaje. Sakshat Satchidanandam bhaje. Shivam bhaje, bhavam bhaje, mama prati janmani davam bhaje. Shivam bhaje,
bhavam bhaje, mama prati janmani davam bhaje.
Shivam bhaje, bhavam bhaje, mama prati janmani davam bhaje. Shivam bhaje,
bhavam bhaje, mama prati janmani davam bhaje.
mama prati janmani davam bhaje.
Mama prati janmani davam bhaje.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
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 Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
May Lord Shiva remove from society the poisons known as ill will, greed, envy, hate, violence, and lust. May that one who is renowned for granting boons grant all the boon of devotion. You are tuned in to Datta Arpanam on 103.1 FM. Today, as we discuss the Dwadasha Sutras of Mata Jayalakshmi, we learned that she instructed Puja Appaji through the fourth of those 12 sutras to, even if it cost him his life, protect the one who has sadbhavana, protect the pious, the virtuous, the good people.
And Puja Appaji, as he did with all of the Dwadasha Sutras, has been following this one to a T. Reflections of the Absolute is a sacred text. It is a biography of Puja Sri Swamiji, and it is the source of the story you are about to hear. A story which shows how Sri Swamiji implicitly follows the commands of his Guru when she instructed that he should protect the pious and virtuous even at the cost of your life.
Once, during his teenage years, Sri Swamiji was sitting on the branch of a tree when he went into samadhi, or a state of deep meditation. While he was in that state, the branch on which he was sitting broke and he fell down with a big thud. Although the fall was bad enough that he sustained a number of bruises, he remained in the state of samadhi. Jayama and Surya Narayana Rao, who were childless, looked upon Sri Swamiji as Lord Krishna, as if they were Yashoda and Nanda. In fact, Jayama almost reached the level of Yashoda in the affection she showed to her beloved Swamiji. Sri Swamiji, in turn, reciprocated her affection by being mischievous like Krishna.
That day, when the teenage Sri Swamiji fell from the tree, Jayama heard the noise and came out running to see what had happened. She got the shock of her life when she saw her dear Swamiji with so many bruises.
Several other devotees also came out and saw what had happened. They carried Swamiji inside but didn't know what to do next. The nearest medical facility was nearly 4 kilometers away, and there were no vehicles to transport the injured teenage Swamiji.
After a while, Sri Swamiji got up. He emerged from his state of samadhi. Seeing the others sitting around him and crying, he also started to cry.
In the end, even though the young Appaji was the one who had fallen and sustained bruises, it was he who had to console the others. They asked him, "Why were you so silly, Swamiji? What would have been our fate if something serious had happened?"
Sri Swamiji replied, "We can still live with broken bones, but if the one on the other side fell under the lorry, he would not have survived."
"Who is that person, Swamiji?" they inquired.
"A devotee," said Sri Swamiji.
"Anybody from our circle of devotees?"
"He is not a devotee yet. You do not know him. It may be another 15 years before he becomes our devotee."
Listeners, no matter how many times I hear, read, or tell this story, it never fails to move me. because in it we see not only the depth of Puja Appaji's commitment to the well-being of others, but we also see his commitment to the implementation of the fourth Dwadasha Sutra given by his Guru.
And in following the fourth sutra of protecting the pious and virtuous even at the cost of his own life, we see that Sri Swamiji, while still only a teenager, was following not only the fourth sutra, but also the third, in which he was instructed to, at all times, think and act according to the Shastras. Really and truly, it seems impossible to separate the third and fourth sutras, because if one is protecting the pious, one is doing good, and if one is doing good, one is acting according to the Shastras.
A very important aspect of the second sutra, be compassionate to the poor and socio-economically disadvantaged people, is learned from today's story of the teenage Sri Swamiji. We learned a couple of weeks ago that for one to be considered a truly compassionate person, he or she must lose thoughts of I, my, me, and mine. And how clearly does Sri Swamiji implement this in this episode from his life story? He fell to help save someone who was not even yet a devotee of his. Appaji's compassion, his consideration, his protective instinct, these were not reserved solely for those who revered him. Even as a teenager, he did not think of a person as my devotee or not my devotee.
And again, we are reminded that Sadguru Deva teaches not just via print or discourses, but also through his own actions. Let us pause for a few moments to glorify such a Sadguru.
गुरुनाथा सच्चिदानंदा जय गुरुनाथा नमो नमो
जय गुरुनाथा नमो नमो
सुंदर मोहन जय लक्ष्मी बाला नंद गोपाला नमो नमो
नंद गोपाला नमो नमो श्री गुरुनाथा सच्चिदानंदा जय गुरुनाथा नमो नमो जय गुरुनाथा नमो नमो
पूर्णयखण्डा दिव्य तेजा पूर्णयखण्डा दिव्य तेजा तपस्वी राजा नमो नमो
तपस्वी राजा नमो नमो
श्रीचक्र पूजा ओम प्रिया स्वामी श्रीचक्र पूजा ओम प्रिया स्वामी नाद स्वरूपा नमो नमो
नाद स्वरूपा नमो नमो श्री गुरुनाथा सच्चिदानंदा जय गुरुनाथा नमो नमो जय गुरुनाथा नमो नमो
संकीर्तन अलख निरंजन, नाम संकीर्तन अलख निरंजन, शुद्ध चैतन्य नमो नमो।
शुद्ध चैतन्य नमो नमो।
गोरखनाथा मत्स्येन्द्रनाथा, गोरखनाथा मत्स्येन्द्रनाथा, दत्तावधूता नमो नमो।
दत्तावधूता नमो नमो।
श्री गुरुनाथ सच्चिदानंदा, जय गुरुनाथा नमो नमो।
जय गुरुनाथा नमो नमो।
सुंदर मोहन जय लक्ष्मी बाला, नंद गोपाला नमो नमो।
नंद गोपाला नमो नमो।
श्री गुरुनाथ सच्चिदानंदा, जय गुरुनाथा नमो नमो।
जय गुरुनाथा नमो नमो।
That bhajan, composed by Sri Krishan Kumar, really is a breathtaking mini biography of Parama Pujya Sri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji. You are tuned in to Datta Arpanam on 103.1 FM. On today's program, which is being sponsored by Samtran Insurance Brokers Limited, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited and Kokiye Supermart Limited, the fourth of Mata Jayalakshmi's Dwadasha Sutras is being discussed. Just to remind you, that sutra says, protect the pious and virtuous even at the cost of your life.
The story of King Gaya is a story found in Sri Hanuman Charitra, or the story of Lord Hanuman, and it is a story which reminds us that when great souls like Jayalakshmi Mata and Puja Appaji pass on instructions to us, they are not mere words strewn together. They are words laden with the power to improve ourselves. Their words are words which, if we go looking, we will find reflected in our scriptures.
Lord Hanuman's mother had instructed Lord Hanuman to help King Gaya, a righteous king. One morning, that king was bathing in river Ganga when he accidentally kicked Maharishi Vishwamitra, who was seated within the waters of the river. Enraged at being kicked, Maharishi Vishwamitra emerged from the waters of river Ganga and threatened to have the king killed by Sri Rama. The king apologized, but to no avail. Maharishi Narada then advised the dejected King Gaya to seek help from Anjana Devi, the mother of Lord Hanuman.
Bound by the promise given by his mother Anjana Devi to King Gaya, Lord Hanuman assured the king that he would protect him from Sri Rama's arrows. In total humility, Lord Hanuman listened to Sri Rama, who was enraged with him. He humbly informed Sri Rama that, bound by his mother's promise to King Gaya, he must protect the king. But the enraged Sri Rama went ahead and dispatched his army to kill King Gaya.
Seated outside the cave in which the panicked king was hiding, Lord Hanuman became engrossed in chanting the divine name of Lord Rama. Within the cave, Mother Anjana herself was also engrossed in meditation. The endless chanting of Lord Rama's name created an armor shield that protected Lord Hanuman from the arrows aimed at him. Attempts by Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrughna to defeat Lord Hanuman were rendered futile.
An enraged Sri Rama then started to directly attack Lord Hanuman. Even then, Lord Hanuman remained engrossed in deep meditation. The arrows released by Sri Rama smashed into pieces upon touching the armor generated by the chanting of his divine name. Within this armor, Lord Hanuman continued to meditate uninterruptedly.
Eventually, Maharishi Vishwamitra intervened and asked Sri Rama to stop the war. Maharishi Vishwamitra told Sri Rama about a debate which had taken place in the past. He explained that they were trying to prove the greatness of Rama Nama. But thanks to this incident and Lord Hanuman's selfless act, Maharishi Vishwamitra was able to emphatically declare that Rama Nama, or chanting Sri Rama's divine name, is far more powerful than Sri Rama himself.
In this short story, both Lord Rama and Lord Hanuman were acting in accordance with the teachings of Jayalakshmi Mata. Both were risking their own safety and their own lives to protect the righteous. In Lord Rama's case, he was acting on behalf of Vishwamitra, while Lord Hanuman was protecting the virtuous king Gaya.
Listeners, this extract from Sri Hanuman Charitra teaches us that for the sake of protecting one with Sadbhavana, Lord Rama was willing to go to war and Lord Hanuman was willing to have war waged against him. So we see that like Sri Krishna extracted the essence of the Upanishads and created Bhagavad Gita, like Pooja Appaji also extracts the essence of our scriptures and gives us SGS posts, Mata Jayalakshmi too based her seemingly simple but actually deep-reaching teachings on our scriptures. May all be blessed to follow them. And listeners, we would not know about these Dwadasha Sutras if Pooja Appaji did not share them with us. So special gratitude is extended to him today.
And so, as we draw closer to the end of today's episode of Datta Arpanam, let us join together in wishing Pooja Appaji a happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Swamiji. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Appaji. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Sadhguru. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Puttina Roshu Shubhakangshalu Pooja Appaji.
Happy birthday, Pooja Appaji. Listeners, remember that this coming Friday, Pooja Appaji's 81st birthday will be celebrated. Appaji himself will be in Ayodhya, where Bhumi Puja will be performed, as a new ashrama is being built there. So, in addition to happy birthday greetings, congratulations are also extended to Pooja Appaji. But now, today's episode of Datta Arpanam must draw to a close.
Pranams and gratitude are offered at the divine feet of beloved Sadguru Deva, Parama Pujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji and Pujya Shri 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 Datta Vijayananda Tirtha Swamiji, without whose teachings, compassion, love, guidance and music, this program would not exist.
Pranams to you, Pooja Appaji and Sri Bala Swamiji. Kindly forgive any errors which may have been committed in preparing or in sharing today's episode of Datta Arpanam, and please guide us to avoid such errors in the future.
Special thanks are extended to the staff at 103.1 FM and to the sponsors of Datta Arpanam, Samtran Insurance Brokers Limited, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited, and Kokie Supermart Limited. And of course, dear listener, an extra special thank you is extended to you for sharing your Sunday morning with us.
Remember, if you would like to listen to today's offering again, the podcast will be uploaded to 103.1 FM's website by tomorrow evening. Simply visit www.103fm.tt, click on podcasts and scroll down to Datta Arpanam. Alternatively, you can also access the link via the Datta Arpanam Facebook page.
Once again, everyone, Thank you for tuning in today. You are invited to please tune in to 103.1 FM again next Sunday at 6 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time for another episode of Datta Arpanam, a showcase of the life, music and teachings of His Holiness Parama Pujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji.
Jai Guru Datta.
Shri Guru Datta. Harihi Om Tat Sat.
రామనామము రామనామము అఖిల బ్రహ్మాండైక భాగ్యము 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 జనతకు అమృత సరము అష్ట సిద్ధుల నొసగు వరము ఆర్త జనతకు అమృత సరము అష్ట సిద్ధుల నొసగు వరము జీవకోటికి మోక్షధనము సచ్చిదానందకారకణము జీవకోటికి మోక్షధనము సచ్చిదానందకారకణము రామనామము రామనామము అఖిల బ్రహ్మాండైక భాగ్యము 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 అఖిల బ్రహ్మాండైక భాగ్యము అఖిల బ్రహ్మాండైక భాగ్యము ఓం శాంతి 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 హరి ఓం తత్సత్